Hi you guys, welcome to Polished by Tesia. Today I'm going to tell you guys how I got started as a hairstylist. I've been braiding since I was 9 years old on my brat style, just doing cornrow braids. I used to just mimic everybody that used to do my hair, so that's how I got started doing cornrow braids and just practicing. And then I used to see my mom take clients at the house for micro braids, but she didn't know how to cornrow braid, so it's really crazy and rare that I picked up how to do cornrow braids. When my mom couldn't do my hair in micro braids, my auntie used to do my hair in quick weaves, and after quick weaves, my auntie seen a video on sew-ins and wanted to try it on me, so she ended up trying it. I ended up liking it, and then after a while I ended up doing it on myself because I seen her do it so many times. So all throughout middle school I used to do my own hair, quick weaves, and then like the end of middle school, that's when I started doing my own sew-ins. I mastered my quick weaves on myself. It was this neighbor that asked me if I could do her hair, and I was like, I'm not really good, but I can try. And I should have never did that, because when I tried and she wanted bangs like me, them bangs was so thick. Like, we ended up taking it out after I was done whatever I was done doing, because it was a total disaster. Like, when I tell you I screwed up, I screwed up. Her bangs was so thick. I put so much hair in the front, it was ridiculous. But I really thought she wasn't gonna let me touch her hair afterwards, but I mean, she ended up letting me try one more time and everything was good from there. But no, it was a total disaster, honestly. And I just feel like every hairstylist make mistakes, and that's how they get better. But that's with everything. And when it came to high school, I ended up going to Wolfson at first because I wanted to do business first, and then I wanted to do cosmetology probably like after high school. But my mom didn't want to take me to the bus stop anymore because it was super early, so she ended up trying another school, which was Frank H. Peterson, and that was a trade school, and it had cosmetology in the school as well. So by the time I graduate, I would have my cosmetology license. That was the goal, but I didn't end up getting to that until like afterwards. At the end of my sophomore year, I ended up getting my braided certificate. After I got my braided certificate, I ended up volunteering at a local salon, and later on they ended up hiring me as the lead braider. And so my senior year, I ended up getting pregnant with my son, and then I ended up quitting the salon that I was in because I figured I can make more money working for myself. By then I ended up having clients from my high school and clients from the salon already, and doing an ad off Craigslist, and then I started traveling to my clients around Jacksonville from there. I wasn't scared doing it. It was just the thought of anything can happen, and I'm just sitting here traveling to people's houses, like. But I was like, I'm getting paid, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, so I might as well. Like, it was really good. I never had no bad experience going to nobody's house. I love doing it. It was just the time. I didn't have that much time to go to everybody's house, so the most I would get is like 2 to 3 clients a day if they're on the same side of town. Yeah, after I had my son, I ended up getting into Paul Mitchell, which was a really exciting thing because like I really wanted to go to Paul Mitchell. I always heard great things about Paul Mitchell, and plus I wanted to see another atmosphere, but I ended up quitting halfway through Paul Mitchell because life got the best of me. For real. This week into Paul Mitchell, me and my husband end up purchasing our first home. and I end up getting a spare room just for my hair room. Eventually, I will move into there and start doing hair. After I quit Paul Mitchell, I wanted to take my career a little bit seriously. Then that's when I end up talking to my teacher from high school. We end up combining my hours from high school and Paul Mitchell together, and then I end up taking state board, and eventually I passed. That's a whole nother story. I ain't finna tell y'all how many times I took the test, because they ain't none of y'all bitch. Let me stop. But nah, it took me a little minute to get my color wheel together, because I don't do color. Like if Sally came in with green, Sally ain't getting no color from Tesia. So that's just it. I ended up doing hair in my living room because I didn't really feel comfortable doing hair in my spare room yet, and plus it was still our storage unit at the time. So I had to improvise, and I just had a little fold up chair and was doing hair in the living room, having my clients watch TV from there, and that was it. And then it wasn't until Christmas or my birthday when my husband took it upon himself. Let me stop. Well, it's not until my husband ended up going in my hair room one day, or going into the spare room one day, and end up painting my room pink for me, which was a really nice touch. Painted it because I told him my mom always rented, and I always wanted the pink room, and when he surprised me with the pink room, I was like, okay. I guess I could do hair from there. And then I end up looking at a YouTube tutorial on how to set up a vanity, and I had the lights going to the side or whatever, so I was like, oh, let me try to do this, and it ended up working. And then I started doing hair from there, but I was still doing sew-ins at the time, and then eventually I ended up going into braids more after my grandma said she wanted to do some braids. So I ended up trying braids for the first time, and I actually kind of liked it. And after I posted her on Instagram or Facebook, then that's when I started getting more clientele for braids. First it was the individual braids, and then I ended up doing lemonade braids, and then it was tribal braids, and now I am doing knotless braids. So it was just me trying out stuff and really liking it, so that's how I end up on the braider side. Which I don't really mind being a braider per se, but it just takes a lot of time. After perfecting nose style, I wanted to start selling items so my clients can keep up with their hair. So like my edge control, my comb, my bonnet, and my hair growth oil. And now we're to YouTube. So I always wanted to do YouTube. I would say, like, since I've seen my very first tutorial when I was mimicking how to do sew-ins, I always wanted YouTube, but I wasn't really sure or really an expert. All right, so that's basically it on how I got started as a hairstylist. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.